What is up everyone, this is Linus, you're watching TechLineHD, and last week I reviewed the Samsung Galaxy A3 2017 edition, and today I have the Galaxy A5 2017 edition. This phone definitely looks and feels like a flagship device because it uses a glass on the front and rear, it has a metal chassis, metal buttons, and honestly it looks like the Galaxy S7. Also, the device has decent specs, but it costs over $400 US. Is it worth the price? Stay tuned to find out. Once you take the phone out of the box, the first impression is that the device is premium, just like the Galaxy A3 2017 edition I reviewed like a week ago. All the links will be down below in the video description. The phone looks and feels like flagship Galaxy smartphones. A sturdy metal frame along with the tactile metal buttons and a Gorilla Glass on the front and rear make the Galaxy A5 look like a premium phone. As usual, glass surfaces attract fingerprints and smudges very quickly, but the IP68 rating assures that you can wash the phone or submerge it under water for 30 minutes as it is dust and water resistant. Also, the phone is quite compact due to its 5.2 inches 1080p AMOLED display, which is just gorgeous to look at. Well, it is not as good as the Galaxy S7 screen, but it is plenty sharp, vibrant, and it is bright both for indoor and outdoor use. The 16 megapixels camera is here for selfies, but there is no notification LED light. I believe Samsung didn't put it because the phone has the always-on display that shows all the essentials at a glance. Also, it is really power efficient and you can barely see the difference on the battery life if you keep this feature on or off. As usual to Samsung, we have nicely backlit capacitive keys. The physical home button doubles as a fingerprint scanner that unlocks the phone straight from the standby mode, and it does its job pretty well. On the back, we have a pretty powerful camera setup that includes a 16 megapixel shooter with a bright f1.9 aperture that is coupled with a single LED flash. However, the camera lacks optical image stabilization and there is no 4K video recording. I really love the new placement of the loudspeaker, so you won't cover it up if you hold the phone in the landscape mode. Also, I'm happy with the sound quality as the sound is balanced and clear and there are no distortions. The sound quality via the headset jack is also pretty good. When it comes to hardware, the Galaxy A5 2017 is not the most powerful device out there, but it still offers decent specs. The phone comes with an octa-core Exynos 7880 chip that is clocked at 1.9 GHz, 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage that can be further expanded via the microSD card slot. Keep in mind that some regions may get a hybrid dual SIM card model, while other regions are stuck with a combo of one SIM and one microSD card slot. The gaming performance is great and I was able to play graphically intensive 3D games without any issues. Well, there were a few skipped frames on the Asphalt 8 on the highest graphics, but I'm not sure if that's even worth complaining about. Finally, the phone does not overheat even after 30 minutes of gaming. When it comes to the user interface, the Galaxy A5 2017 edition runs on the Grace UX, the successor to TouchWiz. Well, yes, we have a little bit different look, some new design touches, but in general, you will feel right at home if you have used any Samsung device before. Some of the notable features include the update display where you can read all the latest news and etc. You can customize the phone by changing themes, wallpapers or icons if you wish so. Also, you can change a lot of display settings or select from quite a few smart features. My favorites include a one-hand operation mode that can be triggered by pressing the home button 3 times. If you double-click the home button, you will launch the camera. Most importantly, the user interface runs smoothly and I didn't have stutter or lag like on some older implementations of Samsung's user interface. As usual to Samsung phones, you can take the pictures very fast. Also, there are some shooting modes like a Pro mode, where you can play with a lot of settings if you wish so. When it comes to the image quality, the daylight pictures look great. There is a good amount of detail, sharpness, and the colors look nice, and the dynamic range adjustment is usually spot on. The indoor shots where the lighting is far from the best also look pretty good if you manage to hold your phone still to avoid blurriness. The night photos are just mediocre. To be honest, I expected better results as there could be more detail and much less noise. Currently, I'm shooting with a Samsung Galaxy A5 2017 edition. I'm shooting in 1080p resolution, which is the maximum resolution the phone can shoot. It's disappointing that the phone can't shoot in 4K. The 1080p video, however, looks great. There is a lot of detail and sharpness, the continuous autofocus works fine, and the audio recording quality is really good. The main shortcoming is that the footage may look a little bit shaky due to the lack of optical image stabilization. The 16 megapixels front-facing camera sounds impressive and it can take some great selfie pictures. However, it does not have the autofocus feature, meaning that you have to make sure that your face is in focus, otherwise you will end up getting soft-looking pictures. So currently I'm shooting with the Samsung Galaxy A5 2017 edition, and this phone has a 16 megapixels front-firing camera. The 1080p selfie video looks great, but again, you have to make sure you stay in focus. When it comes to connectivity, I have no complaints at all. The signal reception and the call quality have been excellent, the Wi-Fi speed and range are good, and the GPS is fast and accurate. The 3000 mAh battery may not sound impressive on paper, but in reality, it keeps the lights on for a really long time thanks to the power-efficient chipset and display. I could get about 2 days of moderate usage out of this phone, and that translates to over 6 hours of screen on time, which is a very good result. If you need to recharge the device, the supplied adaptive fast charger fully charges the phone in just 1 hour and 15 minutes. Alright, so we've come to the conclusion part, and I wanted to talk about the pros and cons about the Samsung Galaxy A5 2017 edition. So as I said in the review, the phone has a premium design, great look and feel. We have metal chassis, glass on the front and rear, and honestly, the phone looks like a Galaxy S7 and it's like a flagship device. Also, one of the key selling points, the same as with the Galaxy A3, is the IP68 rating, meaning that you can drop the phone in the pool, or if you want to wash the phone, there will be no issues at all. Alright, so another thing that is worth mentioning is a sharp display. It's an AMOLED panel, it's vibrant, it has punchy and natural looking colors. It's great for both indoor and outdoor use. Alright, so another thing that is worth mentioning is that the device is a pretty good all-around performer. Whether if you just scroll through the menus, if you just browse the web, or if you want to play some graphically intensive 3D games. Yes, you may get some skipped frames if you play games like Asphalt 8 on the very highest graphics, but these are just minor issues and I can't really complain about that. Alright, so one of the most important features on any smartphone is the battery life, and the 3000 mAh unit on the Galaxy A5 does not sound really impressive, but as I said in the review, the battery life is just great. I could get over 6 hours of screen on time, and I use the phone for all sorts of stuff. And if you need to recharge the battery, it will take just 1 hour and 15 minutes, which is a decent result. Alright, so the phone is really solid, but it still has a few shortcomings that you have to consider. For example, the camera, yeah, it can take some great pictures in daylight, but since it does not have optical image stabilization, the low light performance is kind of mediocre. Also, there is no 4K video recording. We have some other phones that can shoot in 4K and they don't even cost $400. And the front-facing camera, it does not have the autofocus. I mean, there are a lot of phones that don't have this feature, but with this phone I got quite a few selfies that were kind of out of focus, they were kind of blurry, so you have to consider this. Alright, so I know that some people are kind of mad in the comment section down below that I keep saying that the glass phones are huge fingerprint magnets, but I will probably keep saying that because that's true. It's a huge fingerprint magnet, and if you don't wash your phone, if you don't wipe your phone, it may look kind of gross. So at the end of the day, the Galaxy A5 2017 edition is still a very solid phone despite having all those shortcomings, like any other phone. But if you're a true spec head, you probably know that there are some other more powerful devices. On the other hand, I have reviewed some other phones like the Asus Zenfone 3, Huawei Nova Plus that they don't have the best specifications out there, but they are truly great performers. So it's the same story with the Samsung Galaxy A5 2017 edition. It's not the most powerful device out there, but it performs very well despite having all those shortcomings. It was Linus, thanks for watching, and as always, if you guys have any questions, please drop me a comment down below. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and follow TechLineHD on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you in the next video soon.